Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the second week of the 6th season of the Apollo Racing Club Indycar iRacing series. I will be your commentator tonight, Keegan Scott behind the mic once again, as opposed to behind the wheel, however much I'd like to be. This week, it is time for our first visit to a road course. Road America is where we will be heading. Last season, David Mccourt taking this one pretty handily by almost half a lap over second place, as well as a fairly notorious incident in Turn 1 that we won't try and talk about all that much. We're hoping that we can get clean through Turn 1 this season. And you know what? With this crowd of people that we have here, it's going to be dicey, but I think they can do it. We have the largest field that we've ever had for a road course in the Apollo Racing Club's history. We have 27 entries today. Now that is an IndyCar field plus a couple. In practice, the fastest lap went to James Williamson, who I believe is actually about to go out for his qualifying lap. Yeah, he is out for his qualifying lap. He was our fastest in practice with a smoking fast lap of a 1:45.6, the only driver to make it into the 45.6s. Jake Jackson and David Mccourt close behind with 1:45.72 and 1:45.76, respectfully. James Williamson, of course, playing from the United Kingdom. So everybody send him a cup of coffee at the moment, because I believe for him, right now it's 1 a.m., I think, if I'm doing my time zone changes correctly. But yeah, for him, it is currently 1 a.m., so best of luck to you, James. I hope you are able to stay focused for this very grueling race. And we are looking at a 2-stop race today, folks. It is a 33-lap race, but you're only going to get about 12 to 13, and maybe if you're really stretching it, 14 laps out of a single tank of fuel. So everybody going to have to take 2 stops today, you know, unless they want to run 3-minute lap times, in which case, you know, they're just going to not do too well anyway. I believe our first qualifier, first on the track, Jake Jackson, is actually about to start the first hot lap of the day. Let's take a look at Jake here and watch around the track from his perspective as we go for a lap around Elkhart Lake, Road America. Turn 1 into turn 2 and 3. Some weird corner names here. That might have been an off track for him at turn 3, actually. We'll have to see if this lap is going to count for him. Down into turn 5. Hard braking zone. You brake at the 2 all the way down as low as you're willing to go. And Jake is willing to go down to that first gear. Negative G braking zone. Always difficult up underneath the Sargento Bridge. And then, of course, the couple quick turns and a quick straight before you get to the carousel. Speedville, USA. Not a bad carousel for Jake Jackson. With the faster cars, you want to be running about through the middle there. Can't really keep it too far inside. Going through the kink. Don't want to go too wide through there. And then into Canada corner. A tricky, hard right-hander uphill into a lot of runoff, and Jake uses it well. Into the final couple corners. This one you gotta brake early and focus on getting a big runoff, and Jake does that very, very well. Has a great run up to the start-finish line. Jake Jackson looking like he might be able to get into the 148, and he does. Oh no, that wasn't off track that wasn't off track at turn 3, so I had a feeling that might be the case. Instead, it's James Williamson putting up our first fast time of the day with a 1:46.04. And he's going to set the pace for now. David Mccourt also out on track at the moment. In fact, did he just set a time? Yes, he did. He set the fastest time by by 1.4 seconds. Holy David. All right. Coming out with a scorcher 1:44.6. That is 1.1 seconds faster than his fastest practice time. Obviously did not put any of that practice down on the qualifying setup. It looks like we have a bit of a traffic jam up here in turn 6. As David was actually forced to brake a little early, as everyone else ahead of him was kind of locking it up as well. Taking a look now over Adam Martin, who's getting ready to complete his first qualifying lap. What'll it be for him? Final corner, gotta get a solid run out. This is looking all right. I don't think he's going to break into the 144s, though. He won't. Instead, it will be a 1:45.4. So P2 for Adam Martin. A lot of traffic on this qualifying session as well. These guys aren't used to having this much traffic. If we could, let's get a look at how Andrew Surowick is doing, because he was our runner-up last season. Oh, he just had a spin. That's unfortunate. He's going to reset his car and go again. We have less than 10 minutes in this qualifying session remaining. He's going to be forced to hold up, actually, for DeAndre Young, who just set a pretty good lap, 1:48.5. Joseph DuPont coming through as well with another scorcher, a 1:44.9. That's exactly where Joseph wants to be. Maybe a position higher, but I mean, Joseph DuPont, always good on the road courses. The problem is he has a little bit of a consistency issue. You know, when you have these large fields, qualifying has a tendency to get a little bit hairy because you can't interfere with other drivers on their qualifying laps. Focusing back here, I believe our focus is on James Williamson, currently in P4, sitting about 1.4 seconds back of our pole sitter David Mccourt. So far, he's on an okay lap. Actually, trailing behind Andrew Surowick a little bit by about 20 seconds or so. Time's starting to be put up here in a more consistent rate. It's looking like that 1:44.6 still stands as the fastest time at the moment. A lot of people pushing themselves to try and beat it, but David Mccourt actually just put up a purple sector too. My goodness. So David Mccourt on another scorcher. Purple sector in sector 3. How's 4 looking? That's a yellow sector, so he's probably not going to be able to beat his pole time. And a little bit of a wiggle coming out of Canada corner will almost certainly confirm that, but he's going to get close. Once again, David Mccourt running here. He won here last season, so I would expect a lot from him tonight. And this time is going to come out to a 1:45.0. Not going to be able to best his previous time, but even that time would get him in at P3. Joseph DuPont actually aborting his hot lap, and he's not going to be able to set a hot lap here either. He's going out for another out lap. At this point, we have just over 5 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. He's going to have one good shot at it. He's not going to have a second chance. He needs to be careful or he's going to get railroaded by the person right behind him. Matthew Rice actually just starting his qualifying lap as well. Already has one in the books, but is looking to try and improve on his 146.1 that he currently has. Anything sub 145 here is a fantastic lap. We have 2 putting those in the books tonight. Matthew Rice, one of our admins for this league, has done a lot for Apollo Racing Club over the years. You can't help but root for him. And that was probably an off track from Matthew. Yes, it was, as he slows down immediately to try and warm up for another good lap. He's only going to get one more. Oh no, he's not even going to finish this lap. He's just going to go right back around and try and get a fresh set of tires. Not a bad choice, because he's still going to have the opportunity to get another one in. About 4 minutes left here in this qualifying session. Daniel Taskey not able to improve his position. Joseph DuPont about to complete a lap, looks like. Yes, he is. That's a good run out of the final corner. Can he have a good run up to the line? Let's see if he can improve it. 144.9 is his time to beat 144.6 for pole. And lap didn't count. Oh, yeah, sorry. That was his out lap. Duh. This is his hot lap. Joseph DuPont, another one of our road course ringers, quote unquote, here at the Apollo Racing Club. That was actually a purple sector 2 and a green sector 1. He might be able to get it done if he can keep this level of pace up. That was sketchy. That might have been an off track. Oh, that's going to lose it for him, though. He's not going to be able to finish it from there. He's not going to... Well, wait. He might be able to get around to start a lap. He's got to book it, though. He cannot take his time. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the track, we have laps being set. John Krause currently sitting in P6. Looking to try to better his time. 145.9 is the time that he has to beat for himself. Oh, sorry. This is a hot lap for Krause. My bad. These teams blowing through tires. If this were real life, they'd have already used probably $2,500 each just on these qualifying laps. These tires are not cheap. Quick shout out, by the way, to the other man in the booth who will be joining me next week for our race at Apollo Racing Club. Will Weisbrod III, who was unable to be with us this week, unfortunately, due to his obligations for Indycar. But a shout out to all of the Meyershank racing team from everybody here at the Apollo Racing Club. Will, good luck to Helio Castroneves and Simon Pagenaud in the Long Beach Grand Prix. From what it sounds like, you guys have been testing that like crazy, and I hope you guys do good. Couple purple sectors being put up here. Kubalai able to get a purple sector 1. He's actually going to improve his position as a result. Kublai going to get up to 10th. No, gets dropped down back to 11th. Craig Bray actually with a purple first sector, but not able to finish it off. Now John Krause coming around to try and cap off this session with a better time. 1:45.9 was his previous time to beat, and he did not even get that lap recorded. The stewards deleted that time due to an off track, and he was able to start a new lap, though. Actually, just ahead of him is Joseph DuPont. Just ahead of him is Joseph DuPont. They have started that lap, so they can complete it. But DuPont has one more chance to try and get that pole rather than having to start on the outside of row 1, which at Road America might as well put you in 3rd. He managed to get through that corner cleanly this time. No spins. Through the carousel, he's looking good. Joseph DuPont and Cody Barrett will actually be the last two to finish. Cody Barrett actually hanging out in P5 right now, so he has an outside opportunity to take the pole away if he can put a blistering lap in. But Joseph DuPont might be beating him to the punch. A green and a purple sector, that might get him the time that he needs. Clean run out of the final corner. Joseph DuPont, can he get the pole on his last qualifying lap? 1:44.6 is the time to beat, and he puts in a 1:44.4. Joseph DuPont is gonna take pole for Apollo Racing Club at Road America. Unless Cody Barrett has something to say about it. He has 2 green sectors, but no purples thus far. Was he solid enough to come out with it? One more to cross the line. It's a 1:44.4 that he has to beat to make pole, and he's not going to be able to get it. Is going to be able to improve his time, but it will be Joseph DuPont on the final qualifying lap who will come out with the pole for ARC at RAM. And this is shaping up to be one heck of a race at the moment. I mean, quite frankly, this is an absolutely stacked front 5. Truly stacked front 6 if you count the P6 of Derek Stack. So, the grid is set for this 33-lap race. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties with our grid overlay. But Joseph DuPont takes the pole for this one with a 1:44.4, an absolute blistering lap. There we go. We do see the grid there. Joseph DuPont, blistering lap with a 1:44.4. David Mccourt, very close behind with a 1:44.6. Then Andrew Sarowick, Adam Martin, and Cody Barrett will round out the top 5. Derek Stack, John Krause, Tanner Long, Brock Whiteman, and Jake Jackson round out the top 10. And the rest of the field goes James Williamson, Kublai Ceylon, Matthew Rice, Craig Bray, Adam Thompson, Mark Feeney, Liam McNeil, and Brendan Calderon, Daniel Taskey, and DeAndre Young for the top 20. Eric Oliva, Mark Harrison, Nick Jadu, and Patrick Crouch to round out the top 24. And in 25th, bringing up the rear, got Sengbush with a not-so-great qualifying lap. Was able to put one in, though, at least, so that's always a good thing. And my name is there, and I didn't even get out on track this time, so what you doing, iRacing? But we're almost ready to get out on track and underway. The safety car is on the field. We're just waiting for a couple more drivers to grid up. Once again, 33-lap race. Local cautions are the only cautions that will be thrown today, so we will not have a eye-pacing event like we did last week. It will be on absolute pace to make it around this time. 2 stops are going to be required. Everybody gonna have to take each set of tires, and looks like the choice of everybody right now is to start on the blacks, except for a couple. Adam Thompson, one of the furthest driver up, to start on the red tires. And might be the only one as I'm flipping through the field. Yes, Adam Thompson, the only driver to start on those Firestone red tires. And he might be going for a bit of an off-pit strategy. As we get our pace lap underway, I'd like to point out one of our sponsors here at the Apollo Racing Club IndyCar Series. We are sponsored by Grid Finder. We are an approved league on Grid Finder, which means you can go check us out there quickly and easily. That is grid-finder.com. They are one of the best resources that iRacing, Assetto Corsa Competizione, F1, or any other sim racing game that you play to find your next league. Find your next grid at grid-finder.com. As we get ready to come around to the green here, David Mccourt is actually, we got this stat just a minute ago, the only driver to have ever won at Road America in the Apollo Racing Club IndyCar Series. So this is going to be eventful, especially if Joseph DuPont can give him a run for his money. As we've already seen, he's competitive. Last season, he was the other driver to win a road course. David Mccourt, of course, winning 5 out of 6. Joseph DuPont being able to pick up the first race of the season at Circuit of the Americas. Really, the only one who has proven themselves to be able to stand up to David Mccourt on these road courses. But I do expect that to change over the course of this season, if not today. And Andrew Surwick actually bringing up that 3rd place position. Not bad on road courses, just seems to not be able to find the same kind of pace that DuPont and Mccourt can in these Indy cars. These starts are very dramatic always for us at Road America. Last season with an incredible wreck into turn 1. The season before with less wrecks, but a lot more off tracks and spins. And with many, many more drivers this season, and for this race, it's gonna be problematic for these drivers. Field going through Canada corner now, and we're getting ready to get underway. Out around the final corner, that safety car is going to peel off and leave the field in the very capable hands of Joseph DuPont. There it is. Joseph will give them the ability to start off from wherever he wants. He's going to run us up to the front. He's going to crest over the hill and gun it. There it is. The start of the Apollo Racing Club at Road America for Season 6. Everybody gets out to the start. David Mccourt and Andrew Surwick wreck each other on the front stretch. They couldn't see each other, and that's a huge pile up in the back. Joseph DuPont is able to get away clean. But everybody behind him wrecking. Adam Martin able to come out in second with that one. Derek Stack in third as well. And so many people in the back just getting removed from this race, including our pole sitter, David Mccourt. Or sorry, our P2, David Mccourt. Whole bunch of damage and a bunch of guys just trying to make it back around to the pits. They do get one fast repair. And boy, can I not wait to see this replay. Production is getting on it as soon as possible, but there's a lot of incidents to look at. Here we go. Here it is. David Mccourt trying to squeeze Andrew, but Andrew did not have anywhere to go. Just gets squeezed against the wall, and David Mccourt just loops into him, and that collects pretty much everyone behind them. As that's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars involved. My goodness. Yep, Andrew's just squeezed against the wall. There's nowhere for him to go on that one. Holy. Unfortunate incident for our defending series champion. Not the start that he would have wanted to see for this season. And we finally complete lap 1 with Joseph DuPont out in the lead. Quite the healthy margin, too. 2.1 seconds over Adam Martin. And then even further back to P3, who I believe is Mark Feeney. Yes, it is. With Jake Jackson close behind him. That might be the battle here, is for that third position. Assuming Adam Martin can hang on to the back of Joseph DuPont and not fall behind too far. But Joseph DuPont is quick here. This is for that third place position. Jackson and Feeney. Very close. Feeney's going to look for an inside shot. Does get to the inside, but Jackson is just too quick around that outside. They both get back on the racing line. Is Jackson going to look for another shot at Feeney? He does get around him on the inside in turn 6 as Feeney locks it up. Jackson gets by him, and he's off into that clean air of P3. Now has about a 6-second gap to make up to Martin if he wants to try to battle for that second place spot. Joseph DuPont still out to a healthy lead, though, at the moment. Bray now has caught up to the back of Mark Feeney, who might be a little bit uncomfortable, might have even collected a little bit of damage in that lap 1 wreck. Seems to be just a tad off the pace. Not by much, though. Looks like Bray's just going to kind of nestle in right into the slipstream of Feeney ahead of him. That top 5 is going to be competitive here at this point. Meanwhile, further back, you have Sengbush and Derek Stack currently battling for that P10 spot, and actually Stack, Sengbush, and Whiteman all in the running for that top 10 position. Derek Stack having to make a mover on Sengbush, who slows up. Maybe didn't want to race with these guys yet. Playing a little bit of that fuel strategy. I like it. Just going to let Whiteman and Stack duke it out. Meanwhile, Jackson has kind of broken away from Feeney, has about a second gap. Feeney to Bray is a little bit closer, though, for that P4 battle. About 6-7 tenths, depending on where you look at him. Looks like everybody involved in the lap 1 incident has made it back out onto track. They do get a fast repair here. Still don't want to have to use it if you can avoid it. Mark Feeney now appears to be hunting Jackson back down. Now only about 6/10 back from him and has that slipstream too. Not going to look for something into turn 1, but turn 3 could be an opportunity if he can really put the pressure down on Jake Jackson. Sometimes all you have to do is be in his mirrors and force him to make a mistake. Make him uncomfortable. Make him look at you rather than the track ahead of him. Although, that was not a great corner by Feeney. He's going to get passed by Bray on the inside. Not even going to have to go for it in turn 6 as Bray cuts off Feeney by quite a lot there. But he is going to get the job done before he even has to go into the braking zone. Feeney, not a great exit off of 3, and that will cost him by the time he gets to 5. And with those long straightaways and these high-powered open wheelers, that is what happens. Taking a look at David Mccourt. This is so unfortunate. He has James Williamson right behind him. A little bit further up to long, but that was just an unfortunate incident for Mccourt. Yeah, unfortunately, he did end up sandwiching Andrew Serwick into the wall, but there wasn't a ton that Andrew could do on that one. So, David Mccourt gonna have to try and go for a massive recovery drive for this one, and is not actually all that far off from getting lapped again, as Joseph Dupont is about to go into turn 3. So he's going to have to continue to book it forward. Might be able to gain a couple positions back and look at the larger picture. Meanwhile, back up at the front of the field, Bray and Feeney battling it out again. Mark Feeney looking for something outside of turn 3. Not going to be able to get it, but has that slipstream. Might choose to utilize some of that push to pass. If we can get it on board from Feeney, that would be amazing. As he tries to go for a pass onto Bray, maybe into turn 5. Bray holds a little bit further inside than I think Feeney was probably expecting. He might have used a push to pass there, honestly. I think we just caught it a little bit too late. He's used one so far this race, just don't know exactly where. Gonna let Bray get away a little bit. Can't let him get out too far in front of you, though. Need to get that slipstream. You know, if we can take a look at Adam Martin real quick, he has actually been running a pretty good race. He's been managing to keep pace with Joseph Dupont pretty well, only losing about 0.6 of a second over the last 3 laps. Which, believe me, that's an accomplishment. I've raced against Joseph. Joseph is a fierce competitor in these open wheelers. So kudos to Adam Martin for being able to keep up like that. Even still, though, does have an 8.2 second gap to Joseph Dupont. I'm really feeling like that battle is going to be for 3, 4, 5. Jake Jackson can keep that third, though, if he manages to hold on. Just has to keep it consistent. Doesn't even have to really push it all that much. Further back behind Adam Martin here, Craig Bray and Mark Feeney still going at it. Just going through 5, going up into turn 6. Mark Feeney might look for something here. He gets on the inside. They almost make contact, but they don't quite. Mark Feeney wasn't able to get it done. That braking zone is so hard to try and get a late break into to make the pass into 6, as it's a negative G braking zone, which means, if you are unfamiliar, that the way your car wants to move is up. And you can have as much downforce as you want, but that's going to make your brakes less effective because there's not as much air pressure pushing it into the ground. And it makes you lock up and spin really quickly if you brake too late there. That's one of the corners that makes this track so tricky. So Mark Feeney is going to have to kind of just sit there and wait for a little bit. Further back in the field, we have Cody Barrett and DeAndre Young currently duking it out for 14th and 15th, excuse me. Barrett is actually going to make that pass cleanly, and Young will have to kind of sit there and hold on behind him for a little bit as these black tires are starting to fall off at this point, probably. You know what, folks? In a moment, we're going to go to an in-car reporter here, as our producer is going to go look for which one would be best to go for. Craig Bray, oh, that's a big off track for him. Saw that in the background there on turn 5. That's going to allow Mark Feeney to just roll away with that P4 position. Oh, that's a big spin. That can happen in that turn 5. It's so tricky to get right and fast at the same time. You know what, folks? I think it's time to go over to our in-car reporter. Production, are you ready for our in-car reporter? Going to get Matthew Rice in here as soon as possible to kind of take us through what he thought about that first lap incident and what he's expecting for the remainder of the race. And here he is. Matthew Rice, do you have a copy?
A copy of what?
Can you hear me? Tuning in on your radio.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you are on broadcast, good sir.
Oh,
so, that lap 1 incident, man, that was extraordinarily rough. What did you see from your perspective?
From my perspective, I just saw a cloud of cars and carbon fiber flying in the air, and all of us attempting to dodge it, and we all couldn't dodge it. So, yeah, some of us got really hurt by that.
Yeah, definitely. But so that's out of the way at this point. How do you feel about your chances of being able to come back and do a good recovery drive here? Not going to say you're going to finish spectacularly due to that, but what do you think your chances are of being able to pick up a couple more spots today?
I think I'll be able to pick up a couple more. I mean, this is still a very tricky track. We still have a very green a racing crew here, so I feel like there's going to be more incidents, and I'm going to be able to capitalize off that. But I mean, top 15 is going to be hard.
Well, you know what, Matt, I believe you can do it. Good luck with the rest of the race, especially those as those primary tires seem to be falling off a little bit, as was just evidenced by what happened directly in front of you there. So we'll leave you to concentrate on your driving. Good luck the rest of the race, man.
Thanks a lot, my man. I appreciate it.
So yeah, kind of just, that's how it crumbled on the first lap, was just a bunch of cars and a cloud of smoke. That was a big unfortunate as well for our leaders in the points. I'm just going to go take a look. And I'm just going to go take a look at the standings here real quick as well. That's going to seriously hurt Andrew Serwick, who was actually leading the points James Williamson also hit by that one, as he was in second. David Mccourt hit by that. In fact, debatably caused that whole incident as well. Was third last week. In fact, the highest finisher from last week that we still have currently that is not a lap down or more is Eric Oliva, who's currently rolling in P6. So Eric Oliva, if he can just keep it strong, he might be able to come out and potentially, if he's lucky, with the points lead here. But he's just got to keep it consistent, not try and go for anything too crazy. We should have some pit stops coming up soon. I believe Mark Harrison actually just ducked into the pits. Yep. So our first pit stops underway. And who was that was starting on the red tires? I know there was one that we had on the red tires. Don't remember, but they might have been caught up in the first incident. Oh, it was Adam Thompson. And I don't think Adam's pitted yet, has he? Production? No, Thompson is not pitted yet, but he was in that incident early on. Starting to get to the point where Joseph DuPont is starting to threaten some of the tail end of the lead lap cars. Joseph DuPont to McNeil. Liam McNeil, that is not a huge gap at this point. Patrick Crouch with an incident as well, I believe, that is being reported. Let's have a replay here. Crouch. What happened here? Oh, just overbroke it and hooked it going into the final corner before the carousel. Doesn't look like there was any damage and is able to keep on rolling, but did lose quite a healthy chunk of time. Adam Thompson's going to duck in a little bit early, potentially, to try and get off those reds. And yeah, McNeil, we were just watching him, but he is in danger from that front of Joseph DuPont here. Well, folks, kind of a bit of a lull in the action as we are starting to get to pit stops. Some people coming in early. I'm suspecting we're going to see our leaders probably come in here. If not this lap, probably on the next one, because they can complete 12 full laps, maybe even 13 full laps on this one tank, depending on how much they're saving. It's more just about how long you can bear the tires for. Because everyone knows you're going to have to stop for 2 no matter what. Further back in the pack, this is a lap down, but this is the battle for 19th right now. This is James Williamson trying to hunt down the number 502 of Krause. James has that slipstream. John Krause going to defend that inside pretty hard. And does have that inside line, the preferred inside line, but James Williamson's going to have a really good run out of the corner. But you want to defend through turn 5 if you can, because there's not a good opportunity to pass at turn 6. Might have behooved James to lay off on that pass for a little bit, at least until you get to turn 8 up here. Still hunting down the back of Krause is James Williamson. It's a really hard cut out of the carousel. Oh my goodness, there he goes. James Williamson into the wall. He's going to have to use the toe and the fast repair. Unfortunate for James Williamson, not going to be able to continue that fight. But looks like we have some of our front runners coming into pit. Bray going to be the first one to take that opportunity and rolls out of there on a fresh set of Firestone red tires. Expect him to be in as soon as the good to go window opens up. Didn't lose a lap to it either. Joseph Dupont is actually coming into the pits now as well. So Dupont taking that 12-lap option. Might have actually sped coming into the pits. I'm not entirely sure. That was sketchy at best. Out behind Joseph, Adam Martin. Looks like he's going to go for another lap. Not going to get credit for leading this lap, though. I believe Joseph Dupont actually beat him to the line. Jake Jackson into the pits. Mark Feeney's going to stay out on track. Eric Oliva, part of that front six that we were talking about earlier. Coming around the final corner, he's going to stay out for another lap. So some different strategies at play here. Joseph Dupont going to drop back. Adam Martin now with a 7-second gap over Mark Feeney. But both of them are going to have to come in, if not on the next lap, the lap after. Just like I said, about 13 laps, maybe 14 is what you can get out of a single tank of gas, but it's going to be close. Look at that, folks. Derek Stack was not able to beat Jake Jackson as he got through, but he is going to be able to pass him on track going down into turn 5. He's not even going to have to use the passing zone to do it. Jake Jackson going to stay on the inside, though. Completely clean pass there by Derek Stack. He's going to move up into that P5 spot, but I don't know if either one of them have pitted yet. We could see what the pits are looking at right now, how many pit stops these drivers have had. Who has yet to pit? There it is. Adam Martin and Mark Feeney both going to drop into the pit lane. Eric Oliva, the farthest driver up that has yet to stop. Almost certainly will be happening this lap. That'll cycle back around Joseph Dupont to be our leader of the race for the moment. Adam Martin did actually get credit for leading that lap, though, so at least he's going to get that bonus point. And there it is. Eric Oliva going to dip into the pits. And that completes our first cycle of pit stops. Looking like Joseph Dupont did not have a speeding penalty coming in. I thought he might. He came in pretty hot there. But it looks like he did manage to get slowed down before he got to that line. Adam Martin actually going to come out 23.5 seconds behind Joseph Dupont. Joseph making that pit stop work. But we're 3 through 5 are pretty tightly packed together. 3 and 4 especially. That's actually a battle at the moment. That's Derek Stack and Jake Jackson trying to get it back. Is Jake Jackson. They've been close together for a lap or two now. And in 5, Jake Jackson's not able to get it done. And if you can't get it done in 5, then you've got to basically wait an entire lap to even have another opportunity, because your next best opportunity isn't an 8. Oh my goodness. Jake Jackson almost losing it there. It's actually in Canada corner, so Jake Jackson might have behooved him there to just kind of hold off and use this this slipstream down the backstretch and through the kink to catch up to Derek Stack and make a move into Canada. Yeah, that move would have been perfect had he managed to hold on to the back of Derek Stack through 8 and the carousel. New fastest lap as well from Joseph Dupont. There goes Derek Stack. Going to peel off and go into the pits. I forgot that he pitted almost immediately. I think he might have had a bit of damage after that lap 1 incident, but just used the fast repair and got his way out of there. Which is why he kind of fell back a little bit. So Derek Stack might be a little bit in danger of going a lap down here, but we'll have to see how that pans out. Jake Jackson going to cycle back around to that 3rd place spot. Joseph Dupont is starting to run away with this one a little bit, but we have seen that he has had issues with spins at times. Road America, though, has always been pretty kind to him. However, this week in our other iRacing league, or last week in our other iRacing league, the Formula 4 league, he was able to come out with a podium position, so he's always been very good at Road America. The Elkhart specialist. Well, we have a bit of a lull in the action, folks. I'd like to talk to you about our other sponsor for the Apollo Racing Club Season 6. We are sponsored by the one, the only, Driver 61. Did you know that Driver 61, the most prolific and highest rated driving tutor in Europe, has entered the sim racing market? They are now providing sim racing tutoring and training, pretty low prices, but we have a discount code to get you a little bit more. Go to their store and punch in ARC Driver 61. That's ARC Driver 61, no spaces, for 25% off all of their services. Thank you so much to Driver 61 for sponsoring us for the season. I might have to use some of his services for the Nürburgring 24 coming up this weekend, as that is an absolutely grueling event. And it's going to be my first 24-hour enduro, so this ought to be fun. What a one to pick, right? Joseph Dupont yet more extending that gap over Adam Martin. Adam Martin, in turn, extending the gap over Jake Jackson. In the field gets very strung out. DeAndre Young in P14. Looking to hunt, or sorry, P13, excuse me. Looking to hunt down Kubilai Ceylan, who is directly in front of him. Not quite able to get him here. He might be able to get him with Slipstream down the backstretch. But Kubilai just too fast. And is, well, he's still within Slipstream range. It's just, it's going to be close. He's going to really have to try and force his way up there. But it looks like he's just not quite have the pace to catch up to Kubilai here. Further up the field, Cody Barrett, the next one in danger of going a lap down to Joseph Dupont, who can see the back of him at this point, actually. I don't think we've ever had a road course where the leader lapped the field at the end. But Joseph DuPont's definitely fast enough to do so. Well, folks, we are going to take a short break and let you enjoy some of this action that you are seeing on screen as we prep to bring you the final half of the Apollo Racing Club IndyCar Series at Road America for Season 6. When we come back, don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back, everybody, and we just missed a bit of an incident here between Tanner Long and David Mccourt. David Mccourt all over the place tonight, not doing so good. And this is actually the second half of the incident. Can we step back a little bit to see what caused it? Tanner Long on the inside. David Mccourt. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Tanner Long, that was a bit of a racing incident. But David Mccourt just in the wrong place at the wrong time for that one. He definitely had the position, but Tanner Long just outside a little bit too far. There wasn't much David could do about that. Further up the field, Derek Stack fighting with Eric Oliva, who's just behind him to stay in that P6 position. Not quite fast enough, or sorry, not quite close enough behind is Eric Oliva to catch that slipstream. While we were gone, DeAndre Young did get lapped by Joseph DuPont. 9 cars on the lead lap at this point, and Barrett getting very close to falling victim as well, only a couple seconds ahead. Still managing to stay out ahead is Derek Stack by a pretty good margin now, as I believe there was a bit of a slip-up from Eric Oliva behind him. So yeah, unfortunate there, but I believe we might have a battle for second developing. Slowly, but surely, as Jake Jackson has been able to reel in Adam Martin little by little over the course of this stint. There's still one more pit stop to go, and just behind them, actually, an incident in turn 5. I think this was just due to following a little bit too close behind in a lockup. And that's Jake Jackson out there in front. I can't tell who it is behind him. It's Liam McNeil behind him, excuse me. And yeah, lockup and tried to turn in. No good. So that happens in 5. He gets up and gets rolling again. So 3.9 from Martin to Jackson. As Jake Jackson is just looking at trying to reel in Adam Martin. Is definitely able to see him on the straights. Lock up by Jake Jackson, though, that's going to make things a bit difficult. Making his job even harder. To almost 6 seconds now. Been watching Adam Martin here. He's getting really eager on the entries of some of these corners. Like, I mean, really wide on the entry, starting to, like, almost into the grass. This field got really strung out after that lap 1 incident. Further back the field, we do have a small battle going on. It's John Krause and DeAndre Young battling it out for that 12th spot. Although a bit of an advantage does Krause have. Young a bit further back. Something else to be noted that could start to shake things up a little bit. We are about to come around to our next round of pit stops. As we are on lap 23. We're about 1, maybe 2 laps away from having our leaders come back onto pit road. Meanwhile, John Krause looking like he might be hunting down Matthew Rice here. Little by little. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that is Whiteman in front of him. Whiteman still on the lead lap, actually, and might just kind of want to let him by if he catches up to him. But yeah, Krause just kind of putting the time down over Young. It's going to be a task for Young to try and catch him. Up at the front of the field, Adam Martin now, he's almost half a track behind Joseph DuPont, who actually just crossed the start-finish line and is actually going to start lap 24. If he's going for the 12-12 and then, oh my. Off track by Adam Martin. That's going to make his job catching Joseph DuPont even harder and staying in front of Jackson even harder. That's going to get Jake Jackson right up behind Adam Martin, as Adam Martin's tires are clearly in pain. This could be the battle that we want to look at for the rest of the race. Let's go and take a look at our leader here, though, as it's going to be kind of race defining to see what strategy he wants to take here. So his first stint was 12 laps on primary tires. His second stint was, well, is so far 12 laps this time by on primary tires. Question is, however, does he really want to do 9 laps on the alternate tires? Because those things degrade pretty quickly here, simply due to how much heat you're running into them. Especially with the track temp here being 97. That's not particularly cold. It's going to be a lot of tire degradation. Yeah, Joseph DuPont is going to stay out for the extra lap on this one. Might have chosen to save a little bit. I believe he's actually lifting in some of these corners as he's lost a bit of time to Adam Martin behind him. So whenever he can get away with it, he's probably lifting off a little bit. Yeah, he's lifting to try and save that gas. Rolling it through 5 and letting it roll. Let's see what he does going into the carousel here. That's one of the biggest opportunities to save fuel. Yeah, he's just rolling it through 8. Upshifts early to get into the corkscrew. Half throttle the rest of the way. So he's just trying to keep those revs low and save up enough gas to get back around to the pits. Although him running out of fuel here would certainly be an event and just kind of throw another wrench in this race. Now we're first to the front few. Craig Bray is actually going to be jumping onto pit lane for his final stop of the day. Anybody who pits from here is good to go to the end. Just going to take the tire compound they haven't used yet. Joseph DuPont is going to drop into the pits now after getting a 13-lap stint out of this tank of fuel and tires. He's going to have to switch over to the Reds here, which is going to give him a huge boost of time in the early going. But those are going to degrade pretty quickly. Further back, Adam Martin might choose to take him up on his offer and try and cover down on him. Coming out of the final turn, Adam Martin is in fact going to spear it off into the pits, and he will take that offer. Jake Jackson directly behind him, also going to spear it off into the pits. And we have 1, 2, 3, all have come in. Can Jake Jackson, though, get the pass done on pit road? Mark Feeney actually going to take the temporary lead of the race, but he only has about 0.3 of a second over Joseph DuPont, who has brand new fire. Wait a minute. Did DuPont take... Hold on, I think I'm seeing a glitch here. At least I think I'm seeing a glitch. I see DuPont on primaries. Did he not take reds at all this race? Yeah, I haven't seen Joseph DuPont on reds at all this race. So Joseph DuPont might not have taken his other compound. That could be another monkey wrench in the gears. This is interesting. Our data is showing that he's on alternates, but the sim is showing him on primaries. So this is... I'm honestly not entirely sure what we're looking at here, but you know what? We're going to roll with it for now. He hasn't come back in, so I'm thinking he took the right thing, because he wouldn't just stay out there for this amount of time. Meanwhile, back behind him, Adam Martin gaining time like crazy. Is Adam Martin out on those primaries? No, alternates. Okay, now I'm very confused. Yeah, I think the sim is just giving us a graphical hiccup at the moment, as our data is saying alternates, but he looks like he's on primaries. So you know what? Sight doesn't matter. Graphics doesn't matter. What is life? It's meaningless. These guys are certainly putting down times like they are on alternates. A bunch of purple sectors already in this race for Joseph DuPont. Adam Martin not doing too shabby on the lap times himself. Well, we're about to cross over into 5 to go the next time by. We're going to go take a look at our top 10 drivers here today. Joseph DuPont has led flag to so far. From the drop of the green to now, he has been our leader, getting pole as well by just over a 10th over David Mccourt. But second place, Adam Martin. Extraordinarily well done, avoiding that early wreck. Didn't qualify particularly well, but accident avoidance and solid, consistent running has gotten him to where he is. which is 4 seconds up on P3, which is Jake Jackson. Still trying to hunt down the back of Adam Martin. Jake Jackson looking for a solid run today after last week was not so solid for him. So he is definitely looking to try and get a springboard on the remainder of the season. Further back now in 5th, we have Whiteman. Kind of an unimpressive career in the Apollo Racing Club so far. Or sorry, Mark Feeney. Wait, okay. Brock Whiteman's in for a pit stop. We'll go with Whiteman first. Whiteman, kind of an unimpressive career in the Apollo Racing Club so far, but putting up a solid effort today. So good to see. Meanwhile, as Whiteman is pitting, Mark Feeney still out on track, trying to hunt down the back of Jake Jackson, but he has about a 14-second gap to make up. It's going to be a tall order to make up by the end of the day. Behind him, Craig Bray, also trying to hunt down the back of Mark Feeney, but with about 20 seconds back, 18-ish, going to be a tall order. But Craig Bray has had a couple issues with spins here and there, but so far has remained fairly solid. But his closest competitor behind him is Derek Stack. We've seen these two battling on and off over the course of the day. Derek Stack is an extraordinarily solid driver in any open wheeler. He has been hunting down the back of Bray all day. Cody Barrett back running in P8 at the moment. Threatening to go a lap down at the hands of Joseph DuPont, though, who is just about 20 seconds behind him. Cody Barrett just trying to hold on to the lead lap. Just behind him, Eric Oliva in P9. About 20 seconds behind him. And Eric Oliva, he's the one who needs to have a really, really good run today. If he can finish where he currently is, he stands a good chance of advancing his current position of 4th in the points overall. So he's just looking to finish out solid for the day, not getting into any incidents. Running out the top 10, we have Kubilai Salon. New to the series for last season, joined in the middle of it. Kind of came out and proved his worth on the road courses. Still has a bit of work to do on the ovals, but so far today, running strong in 10th, but is a lap down. And that rounds out our top 10. Notice no Andrew Serwick, no David Mccourt mentioned in those names. It's due to our lap 1 incident, which was a massive pileup. If you're watching this in the future, I highly recommend you go back and take a look. We are on lap 29, about to start lap 20, about to start lap 30. 4 to go. Further back the field, we have a battle for P5. This is between Bray and Derek Stack. Craig Bray and Derek Stack. Bray about 4/10 ahead as they make their way through the carousel. This is going to be dangerous, though. Bray's going to have to defend the inside going into Canada, and that's going to give him a very poor run out of it, as Derek Stack is going to have an incredible slipstream down this long back straight, fully flat out. He's looking on that right side, not able to get on the inside of him before the corner, though. You can bet that Derek Stack is going to be looking for an opportunity out of the final corner and down the main straight. Derek Stack does have a single push to pass use left, and he could choose to use it here, as he is just breathing down the gearbox of Craig Bray in front of him. He is on the push to pass here down the front straight. He has that slipstream to help him too. He's going to get up behind him. He's going to make the move in on the right side, and he is going to get by before turn 1. Craig Bray going to be shuffled back a little bit, and I believe Bray has 1 push to pass use left as well. Might choose to use it out of 3. Oh, excuse me, actually. Craig Bray has 3 push to pass uses left, and this is perfect. This is a perfect spot for him to be in, as Derek Stack in front of him is now completely out, cannot use them defensively. Derek Stack is able to stick with it. Craig Bray needs to start fighting for this position back, though. Otherwise, he's going to lose the slipstream, which, with those push-to-passes, might not specifically need it, but it would definitely make the job a lot easier. I would... A little bit further back, we have Whiteman and Barrett currently duking it out for that P7 position. Whiteman keeping ahead. At this point, Barrett hasn't looked for a move, but will probably do so as we go down the long back straight. They both have a couple push-to-passes that are left to use. That's a big slipstream from Whiteman behind. He's not going to look for a move into Canada, just going to use that slipstream to get up to the back of Bray. Or excuse me, that's Barrett in back, Whiteman in front. Whiteman just trying to lay it on, is heavily on that push to pass. Barrett just trying to hunt him down, is going to gain a lot of time down that front straight and get back into slipstream. Doesn't look like he's making a move into turn 1. Or into turn 3 for that matter, but this is another long straight going into turn 5. Has a little bit of slipstream to work with, but is not that close. It is not that powerful. Meanwhile, we're on 2 laps to go for the race leader, so these guys have to sort this out quick. That's a big skid by Barrett. He's going to lose so much time to Whiteman in front. Now he's going to have to gain all of that time back. Might have an opportunity to down the back straight. He has a bit of a slipstream off of Whiteman in front of him, but Whiteman has a slipstream as well off of the lapped car in front. So no advantage for Barrett there. Those two are going to have to try and sort it out, as Joseph Dupont is halfway through the penultimate lap. Looks like Whiteman might be having a little bit of a netcode issue. Barrett getting a lot closer on this one, as Tanner Long will let them by. Whiteman not going to look to the inside of 3 here. For Barrett not going to look to the inside of 3 here. Man, he's jumping on that gas hard out of 3. But further up the field, about 3/4 of a lap in front of them. White flag for Joseph Dupont with a 26-second advantage over Adam Martin. It's been an incredible drive from Joseph today. Has managed to keep it consistent throughout the race and had a fantastic qualifying effort to boot, with just about a 10th over our defending series champion, David Mccourt. I believe Whiteman and Barrett are still trying to sort out their issues further back. Adam Martin has also had a fantastic effort today. Great showing for a newcomer to the Apollo Racing Club. These two would be coming around to take the white flag this time by. But Barrett and Whiteman trying to sort out their differences here. One more lap to go. Will Barrett be able to get the spot back from Whiteman? Barrett, the last one on the lead lap. No threats behind him to deal with at all. Just has to focus on getting that one spot back. A little bit further up the field, 75% of a lap ahead of them is Joseph DuPont rounding the last corner and up the last hill to cross the start-finish line to take Season 6 of the Apollo Racing Club at Road America. Joseph DuPont gets his first road course win of the season. Great effort from him today to get that done. Huge qualifying effort on the last lap, and huge effort to stay ahead of everybody so far. Whiteman and Barrett still trying to deal with their efforts. What happened to Whiteman? Was there a crash? Wait, what happened to Barrett here? So this is McNeil going into turn 6 here. Ooh, yep, that negative G-force braking zone that I was referring to. I'm not entirely sure what happened between Whiteman and Barrett back there. Oh, Barrett hooked it off at turn 5. That's going to be the end of his battle for that extra position. It's going to be Whiteman all the way with Barrett sitting about 8 seconds back. So all Whiteman has to do is navigate this last corner cleanly, and he does. And that's going to be Whiteman with P7. Barrett is going to limp around home to a P8 finish, but not too bad, all things considering. There it is. Last one on the lead lap. Barrett will come around to finish P8. Now we just have some more lap down cars to come around for the finish, but that is how the running order will shake out. Bit of an eventful race. Lap 1 incident. That was a huge one on lap 1 that took out a couple of our leaders. David Mccourt, unfortunately, getting into that incident. Andrew Serwick collected up in it as well. And a few of our other front runners here at Apollo Racing Club caught up in it too. And here you have the final results. Our podium consists of the top step. Joseph DuPont coming in first. Adam Martin managing to come in second, and Jake Jackson rounding out the podium in third, with Mark Feeney and Derek Stack rounding out the top 5. Craig Bray, Brock Whiteman, Cody Barrett, Eric Oliva, and Kubalai Ceylon rounding out the top 10, and the rest of the field with Matthew Rice, DeAndre Young, John Krauser, Tanner Long, Brendan Calderon, Andrew Serwick, Liam McNeil, Daniel Taskey, Patrick Crouch, and Scott Sangbush rounding out the top 20. James Williamson, David McCourt, Adam Thompson, Mark Harrison, and Nick Jadu rounding out the remainder of the field. Nick actually had some technical issues earlier on in the race, so he unfortunately had to drop out after that lap 1 incident. So unfortunate there, but we're going to get our podium finishers in here as soon as possible and congratulate them on their fantastic races. First one they were going to get in here, and I don't actually think we're going to be able to get Joseph DuPont in here because he notoriously is not a fan of interviews, but you know what? We'll let him slide. We'll let it slide on that one. He's so talented. We're going to go to a quick break while we get our top 3 in here. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back with our third place tonight, Jake Jackson. Jake, congratulations on the fantastic finish, getting another podium and setting yourself up well for the remainder of the season. Can you describe what that first lap was like, especially off the start there?
It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying is the only way I could describe it. I saw a lot of chaos in the right lane, so I got on the brakes pretty quickly. One car behind me came flying up past. I was just very thankful to not get rear-ended myself and to manage to navigate through there. And then, yeah, I was just trying to hold on to third the whole race.
Well, I mean, you definitely succeeded at that. We saw that there were a couple times in there that you were kind of battling it out with a few others. I think Mark Feeney was your primary challenger for that one. It looked like you were also kind of starting to duke it out with Adam Martin a little bit towards the middle part of that race. So what was going through your head? Were you trying to get that extra spot?
I mean, honestly, I was more focused on keeping a gap behind to Mark. I wasn't even expecting to be up in third place at the beginning of the race. So I was really just trying to get a podium and see if I could close the gap to the car ahead. A few times it did get close, but it kind of came down to what the pit stops were looking like for both Mark and Adam. But unfortunately, I didn't get too close to really battle it out, but third place is more than enough for me.
Well, you certainly had a great day and great setup for the rest of the season, too. Is there anybody you want to shout out there before you head out?
Shout out to my team, Animal Style Racing. We're going for the constructors this year.
Well, good luck to your team. We will all certainly be rooting for you, and good luck with the remainder of the season to you, Jake, and fantastic racing tonight. Have a good night, dude.
Thanks, guys.
And we do actually have our second place runner-up here tonight. That is Adam Martin. Congratulations on the P2. Great podium to start off your Apollo Racing Club career. I don't think I've actually seen you in any of our races previously, Adam. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this your first race with us?
It's my second. I was in last week at the Oval at Texas, okay. But I didn't finish, so...
Yeah, that oval race was kind of a bit of problematic. Let's just say that. But this race, you certainly did well, and I couldn't help but notice that like you qualified okay, but you didn't qualify beautifully. I mean, you qualified P4. That's pretty freaking good. But describe what that lap 1 incident was, and how you managed to get through there.
Yeah. I just saw, the accident happened right in front of me, and the two guys in front of me got taken out, and I just got lucky, I think, on the outside, and because the crash happened right against the wall on the inside, so I just got by with no problem, and then I guess everyone else, I don't know what happened behind me, but then after that incident, everyone else was like 7-8 seconds behind me or something like that, so I just tried to keep it consistent the whole race, and I never raced with, like, where you had to refuel and stuff too, so I was trying to get a handle on that as well. It was a little confusing, and I think I lost some time on a couple laps trying to mess with the settings, but other than that, I was just trying to keep it consistent.
Well, hey, you certainly kept it consistent, and I mean, why try and push it too much when you haven't really, or it's like when you don't really have a need, right? You have a big lead over everybody else. Why bother?
Exactly.
Pushing it?
And I think the guy, whoever won, was just way faster than me, so I knew I wasn't catching him, so I was just trying to keep a solid lead behind or in front of P3.
Yeah, Joseph is always fantastic on the road courses, but congratulations to you on the big P2 today. Go celebrate it. You put yourself in a good spot for the remainder of the season, and we will hope to see you next week.
Thanks.
All right, folks. Well, that is how this cookie crumbled at Road America. And it was a beautiful day in Elkhart Lake, but some hearts were shattered before they could even begin the race. And some hearts were lifted as a result of that. And that was certainly a huge shakeup in the standings, too. We already have all the standings tabulated out at this point. Andrew Serwick is actually going to come up to take the lead in the points, but not by much. Only an 8-point gap to Jake Jackson, then 3 to Eric Oliva, 1 more to Joseph DuPont, and then a 3-way tie for that P5 position. So the rest of the season looking fantastic in this season 6 of Apollo Racing Club IndyCar Series. Thank you all very much for coming out tonight. My name is Keegan Scott, and I will see you all next week as we visit the High Speed Oval of Auto Club Speedway. Should be fantastic and great pack racing. So we will see you all then. Have a good night, everybody.